Founded in 1787 at the confluence of Wills Creek and the Potomac River, the city of Cumberland, Maryland has a rich and diverse history dating back well over 200 years. Cumberland was named in honor of the son of King George II, Prince William, the Duke of Cumberland, and the city is built on and around the site of an 18th century fort known as Fort Cumberland. Fort Cumberland served as the starting point for British General Edward Braddock's ill-fated assault on the French-held Fort Duquesne during the French and Indian War. Fort Cumberland was also the site of Colonel George Washington's first military headquarters during the French and Indian War, and the fort also saw Washington return as President of the United States in 1794 to review troops assembled to put an end to the Whiskey Rebellion. After its incorporation on January 23, 1815, Cumberland quickly became a center for transportation and industry, thanks in part to the numerous local and Indian roads, easy access to natural resources, and its proximity to the Atlantic seaport of Baltimore. Cumberland was known to rival Baltimore, Maryland, and was appropriately nicknamed the Queen City, and by the turn of the 20th century, Cumberland was experiencing a steady boom in the growth of commerce and population.
Between the 1870 and 1900 census, Cumberland's population grew from 8,056 to 17,128, attributable to the fact that the city was expanding from its humble beginnings to an industrial and transportation hub of the 20th century.
The Baltimore and Ohio Railroad had reached Cumberland on November 1, 1842, and for a time, Cumberland existed as the western terminus of the B&O system until construction commenced towards Wheeling, Virginia in 1850. Later, the B&O expanded west out of Cumberland again, this time to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which saw the already existing infrastructure of not only the railroad but of Cumberland taxed beyond its capacity. Coal was king in the western portion of Maryland, and railroads serving this territory found out early on that it dominated other forms of traffic. The B&O noticed a problem early with the amount of traffic heading from Cumberland to points east, and this area of intense congestion led to the unique name of the bottleneck. The bottleneck consisted of tough grades, intense curvature, and rugged terrain through some areas that possessed some colorful names such as Oconoco, Paw Paw, Hansroad, and others. In 1902, the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad began construction of the Patterson Creek Cutoff under the name of the Patterson Creek and Potomac Railroad. The cutoff, located several miles east of Cumberland, was constructed so that heavy eastbound coal trains from Grafton, West Virginia that were destined for the ports, as well as westbound empties, could bypass the already congested downtown and yards of Cumberland. Construction progressed smoothly, and in 1903, the B&O opened the 6.3-mile-long double-track cutoff and operated it as the Patterson Creek and Potomac branch on timetables. From east to west, the cutoff officially began in Patterson Creek, West Virginia, from which the cutoff gains its name from. The junction at Patterson Creek was controlled by FN Tower. Patterson Creek is located at milepost BA 170 along the modern-day CSX Cumberland Division. FN Tower was originally a wood tower built in 1906 and destroyed by a derailment in 1947. A brick version was erected soon after and lasted in service until the 1970s, with CSX removing the structure in 2024. From Patterson Creek, the railroad meanders southwest through the serene Patterson Creek Valley before curving and heading northwest towards the Maryland-West Virginia border. Four and a half miles after climbing gently on a westbound grade, Knobley Tunnel passes through Knobley Mountain at a length of 4,159 feet. The bore is 30 feet wide and 23 feet tall, with stone portals and brick lining, and was completed in 1902. Directly outside the west portal of the tunnel lies the Maryland state line on the Potomac River, which the line crosses on a unique high bridge before curving west on a large fill, crossing the Western Maryland Railway's Thomas subdivision and rejoining the B&O's original main line at McKenzie, Maryland. Mackenzie is located at milepost BA 188.1 along the modern-day CSX Mountain subdivision, and the junction was controlled by CO Tower, once located along the right-hand side of the curve. By the late 1950s, traffic on all railroads were in a sharp decline, and the V&O was no exception. The need for the cutoff began to wane, which resulted in the line being reduced to single track in the 1960s and abandoned entirely in 1974 by chassis system, successor to the B&O. Today, CSX, successor to chassis system, continues to operate the main lines through Mackenzie and Patterson Creek, and while the cutoff is now long silent, it remains as a testament to how far railroads were willing to go to improve traffic flows and alleviate congestion.